There's one very simple reason why 99% of people who go to the gym still look average, and they never build a high status aesthetic physique that they're actually proud of. They go to the gym for years on end, training as hard as they can, but they never build an impressive enough physique to separate themselves from the pack, from the average. They don't recognize there's a very simple balance you must achieve if you want an impressive physique. If you want to look aesthetic, you want to look like a movie star, and you want to be able to leverage it in the real world. There's two paths that 99% of people take. Number one, they think they need to get as big as possible. So they chase as much mass as they can. They look soft, they lose their sharpness. And number two, they try stay shredded year round. They never put on any size, and they lose their presence in the real world. They're the same size as a woman. But the truth is, this balance is actually very simple. Lean is law and mass is mandatory. And if you only have one of them, your physique doesn't look that impressive. And you're never actually going to be happy. And I'm going to explain to you guys exactly how to stay lean, not shredded, build mass, be proud of the physique you have improved confidence and self-belief, and actually be able to leverage it in the real world, because it's a very simple procedure that is often overlooked in the fitness space. Firstly, fellas, we need to understand why it is so important to have both of these things together. Being lean is imperative. It does not matter how much mass, how much muscle you have on your body. If you are over 15, 16% body fat, you look like an average guy. Your muscles are literally hidden. They're smoothed over. There's nothing you can see. There's no detail. And your physique doesn't look impressive. No matter how big you feel, how gargantuan you feel when you have a pump and you're moving heavy weight, you look like everyone else. And it's not all about vanity. Your physique says a lot about your personality and your character when you walk down the street, when you meet someone. It says you prefer clarity over comfort, that you are aware of the decisions you make on a daily basis, and you are structured. These are really important things. And the truth is so many people are overweight, carrying excess body fat. Their hormones are all out of whack. You can dominate daily life. It doesn't matter what your job or career is, dating scene. You will literally dominate if you're a lower body fat, because you will have more energy. When you have excess body fat, your hormones plummet as a man. Your testosterone starts getting converted into estrogen. You are literally making yourself less of a man by carrying excess fat. And so many guys will cope. They will cope and say that, oh, I feel so much better when I have more fat on my body. If you do a diet correctly, you get to a low enough body fat while integrating habits like cardio outside in the real world. Instead of walking on the treadmill for an hour, you go for runs, you go skip, you go play sports, get sunlight. You will have 10 times the amount of energy as when you're bulking. Because when you are bulking, and especially when you have excess body fat, you have more inflammation. You're eating tons of calories. You feel terrible on a daily basis because your digestion is constantly working at processing food. You do not want to be in this state. You always want to be slightly hungry as a man. It goes the exact same for your goals. As soon as you get comfortable and you reach a goal, you start to settle, you start to slip, and you start to lose sight of where you're actually heading. And then you end up regressing, because in reality, there's only two options. You either progress or you regress. And it's the exact same with your physique. Being lean says a lot about your character, and it's imperative to actually reveal the muscle you built. You worked hard for this physique. You trained, you dieted, you did cardio, you integrated habits, you got to sleep at the correct time. But if you have a bunch of body fat, there's no point even having it. Secondly, in terms of mass, if you are super lean with no muscle mass, you don't look like you work out either. And again, this isn't about vanity, but it's about presence. It's about the way you carry yourself. It's about feeling strong. Not even necessarily in terms of moving weight, but you feel powerful when you have a little bit of size on you. You know you can bench 225. You can do pull-ups with 100 pounds attached to you. Same with dips. This gives you like real world application to your strength. You feel powerful. The last thing you want as a man is to be the same size as a woman. You want to be able to dominate her. You want to be twice her size. And when you have this mass, and by mass, I don't mean bulk. I don't mean looking bloated. I don't mean looking soft or watery. I mean having muscle maturity, density to the muscle, making them look like they're made out of granite. Pair this with decently low body fat, somewhere between 10 and 14%, and you will look incredible. You don't need to be bone peel shredded. You don't need to be single digits year round. That's ridiculous. You are going to feel bad at that body fat percentage. And anything above 14, you're also going to get diminishing returns as a man. You want to have strong, dense, powerful muscle with low body fat. And the truth is maintaining that year round, that range is very, very simple. And you're actually going to make the most amount of progress possible because your body is going to be the most responsive to food. See, the more fat we carry, the less responsive we get to insulin. So every single time we ingest food, our body doesn't even know what to do with the calories and we start storing it as fat. You want to be in a position where your body's highly responsive, you feel good on a daily basis with tons of energy, you look good, you have high self-belief, high agency in the real world where you actually accomplish things. You can take all that hard work you put in the gym and into your physique and actually make progress in other areas. And I'm going to explain to you guys exactly how you're going to be able to do this. Number one, when you are training, you need to focus on training hard. And by hard, I mean intense and intent. We need to make sure that we're recovering enough. So every session does not need to be 2 hours. Your session should realistically, with weights, be under an hour. But every single set has to matter. You have to go in there with a purpose to beat what you did last time. And you need to focus on really getting strong. And one of the best ways to do this, and I talk about this so often, is set ridiculous strength standards with compound lifts. And by compound lifts, I don't talk about squat, bench, and deadlift. You can focus on those, but I think there's better variations that are going to build you a more well-rounded aesthetic physique. Things like weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, incline dumbbell pressing, some type of shoulder press, a lateral raise, RDL, some type of squatting pattern. If you focus on these, barbell curls as well, close grip tricep press. If you literally just focus on these exercises, you do 2 to 3 sets with high intensity, good intent actually connecting to the right muscle group, and you get strong as shit. I mean, look up what the average amount of pull-ups a man can do. It's like 5. If you can do 75 pounds attached to you, if you're around 200 pounds and do 5 reps, you're going to have a crazy physique. That's how easy it is. You literally just focus on these exercises and get as strong as possible. This is how you get that dense, mature muscle look. And it took me so long to realize this, but it really does make a difference in the amount of weight you move in the gym translates to the way your physique looks. So when we're trying to build mass, we want to be in a phase where we're in a slight calorie surplus. Our goal in the gym is to not only engorge the muscle with blood, of course. It's a great feeling to get a pump, but we want to set crazy strength standards. There's 2 real growth vectors. There's progressive overload, getting stronger over time, and there's also pumping the muscle full of blood, full of nutrients. That is literally how you pass nutrients to the muscle to force it to grow, through blood. So getting a pump does work, but for 99% of people, progressive overload is going to be an easier thing to track. But you can do both. So focus on your compounds, add a couple of accessories, do those in higher rep ranges and really get crazy pumps, do supersets, drop sets. And your workouts are going to be under an hour. They're going to be enjoyable. They're going to be fun. You can kind of switch them around a little bit with the accessories, and you can have days where you just do heavy lifts and days where you just do accessories. But this is going to give your physique a completely different look. Next, when we're talking about body fat, what we want to be doing is staying between 10 and 14%. If you are not 10 to 14% right now, you need to get all the way down to 10%. We want to create as much distance for us to go in a calorie surplus so we can stay there for as long as we possibly can. See, if you go into a massive calorie surplus and you're at 12% body fat and you say, the max I would get is 14, 15%, but you're eating way over your calorie maintenance, you are not going to have that long of a bulking period. And you're not going to build that much muscle. Bulking or building mass, growth phases, takes a long time to build muscle. You want to be in there for the majority of the year, but in this period, we want to take it slow. We want to take it step by step, very slowly increase our calories only when we need it. Our recovery is starting to take a hit. We're stalling in the gym. All of these indicators give us a good sign of when it's time to actually increase the fuel for our sessions and for building muscle. So you need to get all the way down to 10%. We want to create that growth period. You want to be bulking, I shouldn't even call it bulking, in a mass gaining phase for at least 6 months. But we want to gain very, very slow. 0.5 pound a week max. 2 pounds a month. In 6 months, you're going to have 12 pounds. You're going to have a few pounds of muscle, maybe 3, 4, depending on how long you've been training, and a few pounds of fat. That is a good growth period. You're still going to look good. You're going to be lean, confident, and you're going to be putting on muscle. And that's exactly what you want to do. And then when you want to diet, it's such an easy, simple strategy. You only have to diet for a few weeks. The last thing you want to be doing is getting super fat and then diet for 6 months. And it's a grueling process that you have to endure. Rather than you make a couple changes in your lifestyle, do a little bit more cardio, go outside a little bit more, walk a little bit, cut out a few carbs, and then you're lean in a month, 2 months. And that way, if you ever have a trip, you ever have an event where you just get kind of sick of eating a ton of food, you pull back a little bit, you're in shape, boom. And I've gotten to the point now where I'm always within 2 to 4 weeks, no matter what. And you guys can do the exact same thing if you follow these principles. Because once you build this physique, you realize there's no point doing the traditional bulking and cutting. It makes no sense on paper. You spend years, 6 months, a year, just gaining way too much fat, only to reveal a very small amount of muscle. As I told you guys earlier, building muscle takes a long time. So if we're putting on 5 pounds of muscle in a year, but 20, 30 pounds of fat, that is a terrible ROI. And now you have to diet all of that off, and that's the worst part. And I've been there. So all you guys need to do is find a structure for your diet where it's personalized for you. You enjoy your meals year round. We're eating around our maintenance calories constantly. So we're never in a crazy calorie deficit, and we're never in a crazy calorie surplus. We're giving our body just enough fuel to accomplish the tasks that we need to do. And this is all about being strategic. And when we're training, we need to be focusing on the right movements to enhance our unique aesthetics. We all have different genetics. We all have different physiques. But we want to focus on those compound lifts and getting retardedly strong over time. Set absurd strength standards that we may not even accomplish in the next year. It may take us 2, 3 years. But you always have something to refer to and check your progress over time. Because if you're not tracking your progress, you have no idea where you're actually at in terms of your growth, you're probably regressing or in the exact same place. And if you guys need a personalized plan built around your lifestyle, your ecosystem, your habits, your preferences, book a call me down below. I teach guys exactly how to do this in my one-on-one coaching. I've helped hundreds of guys not only build a physique, but build the confidence, self-belief to take on any endeavor in their life and completely change the way they view reality, the way the world sees them, and their ability to make change in the real world while, of course, building an aesthetic physique. So if you're in a position where you're feeling lost, you don't know what to do, you've tried a few things, or you want to get started and you want to speed run the process, you know where to find me. Book a call down below, and we will talk soon.